David, good afternoon. Thanks so much for joining us on our PropTech Insights conversation today. Can you introduce yourself and perhaps give us a little bit of a background of Shannon Developments and the overall group?
Yeah, my name is David Neylon and I'm the Capital Sales Executive with Shannon Commercial Properties. I've been with the company for 17 odd years, and Shannon Commercial Properties itself, the company, is part of the wider Shannon Group, which is a commercial semi-state company that runs Shannon Airport, Shannon Heritage, which is a tourism attraction company, and the International Aviation Services Centre. In terms of Shannon Commercial Properties itself, we have a commercial property portfolio of in excess of 1.7 million square foot of industrial and office space. And the majority of that space is located beside Shannon Airport in County Clare in the Midwest of Ireland. And we would also have a development land bank of 1,500 acres. I suppose our properties range from 1960s factory buildings up to modern industrial and office buildings. And from a tenant point of view, we cater from somebody with a requirement for a hot desk all the way up to companies renting over 100,000 square foot of space from us. So we've every type of commercial property tenant. And, some of our tenants are internationally renowned, the likes of Jaguar Land Rover, GE Sensing, Engine Lease Finance, and Thermo King. So, yeah, we've a good business going here at the moment in Shannon in terms of the commercial property side of it. So it's been good. Over the last number of years, we've undertaken a significant number of development projects. We built the first aviation hangar in Ireland in the last 20 years. And we have developed or refurbished over 1 million square foot of space in the last 6 years as well. So things have been very good over the last number of years for us.
Yeah, it's amazing the hyper growth that overall Ireland has gone through, but also particular Shannon and the entire the Midwest region of Ireland too. How has the estate managed to deal with the effects of COVID over the past 6 months? Has this affected the overall group as much as it has other parts of the Irish real estate landscape?
In terms of the group obviously having an international airport and a tourism attraction company has been significantly impacted on that side. Passenger numbers are down 98%, tourism numbers are down, but we've been very fortunate in the commercial property side that it hasn't impacted us as badly. For example, we were midway through the construction of our latest flagship development, which we call Blocks K&L Shannon Free Zone West, when the pandemic hit. And obviously, the pandemic had a slowdown in terms of the construction. There was a lockdown for a period of about 6 weeks, but that has fortunately got back up and running again. And just last week, we announced a new company taking over 100,000 square foot of space, Mira GTX. They're a gene therapy company from the States. So while the COVID has had a detrimental effect overall to the Irish economy, I think in Shannon we've been quite fortunate that the property market hasn't been as badly impacted maybe as we had expected initially.
And I understand that Shannon has also heavily invested in technology over the past 10, 15 years. So it seems like from an overall technology foundation, is that strong foundation's also helped perhaps deal with the effects of COVID a little bit more too. Would you say that would be correct, and perhaps give us some examples of how you've been able to leverage technology and digitization to be able to manage challenges differently?
Yeah, absolutely. When I joined the company initially, the emphasis on PropTech was very low. We had many disparate systems, all managing different aspects of the business. We had a financial system, we had a separate lease charge system, a separate credit control system, and like most companies maybe back then, various Excel spreadsheets, all managing the business. So in 2015, we looked at implementing an all-encompassing system that would manage the entire operation. And we went to the market to see what was there, and Yardi Voyager was the solution. So that has absolutely helped us in terms of the whole COVID situation. We would have obviously been working from home quite considerably over that period of time. And, the benefits of Voyager were clear to see in terms of being able to transition the business from the office to the home very quickly. So yeah, it certainly has helped the business over the last number of years. If COVID had arrived 10 years ago, I think we would have been in a big mess in terms of the operation of the business. But fortunately, we're now set up to deal with these type of issues.
Yeah, so the investment in technology sounds like it's been an important part of your ability to both scale, communicate more effectively with existing tenants and prospects as well. What's next? Where do you see the next level of innovation and investment coming for the group?
In terms of the PropTech side, we also have a GIS system, which is a geographical information system, which we use as a visual tool to see where our lands are and the status of disposals and things like that. So obviously that has been integrated with Yardi. So we're trying to operate from a single set of data. So moving on in terms of development over the next number of years, we would like to offer our staff more front-facing solutions. Obviously, Yardi Voyager is more of a financial system, and we're very interested in the Yardi Elevate products and maybe what that might offer the front-facing members of staff here. So we have looked at a few of those in terms of the next number of years in terms of developing what we're offering the staff in terms of PropTech. And to date, the satisfaction, it was interesting. We did a staff survey about a year after we implemented Yardi Voyager just to see were they happy with it. It was okay for us to think everybody was happy, but we did a staff survey and satisfaction was very high with it. And I think they are looking for more of those innovative solutions to make their day-to-day lives a bit easier. So that will be the target over the next 5 years, is maybe to roll out some more of those types of products.
Mm. David, has the workforce at Shannon Commercial resumed and working out of the office, or is the organization still primarily working from home? And would you see your tenants? What's the status of them and the trends, given the current status of COVID?
We just resumed back in the office at the start of August. We had been working from home since the middle of March until the start of August. So we're back in the office, but there has been a new request from government to reconsider the working from home aspect while the pandemic is ongoing. So it's likely we'll probably be heading back home in the next week or so. And that's, the company was working very effectively from home, and we were able to keep productivity where it needed to be. So I don't think we have any concerns really about that. In terms of the other companies in Shannon, obviously there's a lot of manufacturing ongoing in Shannon. The park itself is, I suppose, there's many different sectors, anything from life sciences to the aviation sector to software. So the industrial side, obviously, those people are on site and continuing to work. But the most of the office operations tend to be working from home at this stage. And I suppose, again, that's just an example of maybe where technology throughout the economy has moved on to such an extent that people are able to do that.
Yeah, interesting. And so in terms of future growth, so primarily focused on this additional land bank that can be further developed. Does one see expansion for Shannon beyond the current operating region, or is the concentration primarily around the Midwest of Ireland?
The concentration certainly is primarily on Shannon itself, I suppose more so. While we do have land throughout the Midwest of Ireland, it is primarily on Shannon. The Shannon Industrial Estate itself was constructed in the 1950s and was badly in need of regeneration. So primarily what we're doing is actually we're demolishing old buildings and redeveloping on those. We haven't done a huge amount of greenfield development over the last number of years. So certainly with the blocks K and L development looking like those will be fully let. We're moving on to the next phase of the regeneration. So we've more demolition ongoing now at the moment. And we're looking at constructing further industrial space as well as a new office block in the next 12 to 18 months. So we have a very ambitious investment program over the next 5 years. So we're looking forward to maybe seeing where that will lead us. But I suppose what we have found is that the provision of advanced space, most of our developments are speculative, but that provision of advanced space allows for investment into the region. It's kind of that build it and they will come approach, and it has certainly worked well for us over the last 5 years, and we expect that it will over the next 5 to 10 years as well.
Fantastic. And Perhaps one or two personal questions, if I may. The first would be favorite beer.
I've been drinking a lot of craft beer lately, so I can't give you a specific one, but anything with craft on it or IPA, I think I'd give it a go.
Sounds great. It's a little story on my side. I was last in Dublin back in December of last year, of 2019, and landed, went down to the bar and asked for a Guinness, and they said, nope, we don't have any Guinness in this bar. We only serve craft beers. So I hightailed it out of there, even though I love craft beers. I did want to have a local Guinness.
Yeah.
And then just the second question for you is favorite sports team and sport, respectively.
Favorite sports team would be Liverpool Football Club. So delighted that they won the Premier League after a gap of 30 years. Big fan of Jurgen Klopp. I love what he does in terms of leadership and everything, and I suppose that can translate across to the corporate environment. I think he's an amazing man. So they'd certainly be my favorite team. And in terms of my favorite sport, it would be Gaelic football, which is the primary sport here in Ireland. I would have played quite a bit of that over the years, not to any great level, but that would certainly be my favorite sport.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, David, thanks so much for spending a little bit of time with us today, again on PropTech Insights, and great speaking with you. Have a great day and keep safe.
Thank you very much, Neal.
Thanks, David.